Hello everyone, welcome back to Steelforce Welding & Forge. Today my friends, I have a product review for you. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Masterforce 2-door wall cabinets. I purchased these 2 units because behind me, as you can see, are my various paints and oils that I use for different jobs for Steelforce, and it's kind of a cluttered mess. Now, this has served me well in the past, but as my business grows, I wanted to try and look more and more professional. So I bought these 2 cabinets to replace this whole unit here. So I'm hoping with these, I'll have more storage and for more professional look. Now, before we get started with the unboxing, I want to thank all of my subscribers out there. Because of you fine folks, I've generated some more revenue. I purchased a new camera mount. And now I'm looking into purchasing some lighting and some better ways to possibly light my shop and to block off various sources of sunlight to try to get my videos to look even more professional. So thank you again. With that being said, let's get started with the unboxing. Very nice. I like that color blue a lot. And let's see here. As you can see, it is quite flat, and that is because these actually extend open. All right, here we have some hardware, and it looks like this is the hardware for hanging the unit on the wall, so that's good. These appear to be the shelves. Or these may be the top and bottom of the unit. Let's see if there's anything in here. Here are our instructions. These are the keys. And in here, we have what I'm guessing are the shelves. Yep, there's our shelf. So let's go ahead and start the assembly. So all we really have are these bolts here. There's a lot of rib nuts in here already, so that's great. We don't have to worry about washers. We have these brackets for the shelf, and then there's the top and the bottom and the middle shelf. So you can see the top here has 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on the edge here. So does the top up here. The bottom piece has 3 holes in the back, so that's how you can tell your top to your bottom for your cabinet. So that's all the hardware put on the top. Woo! All of it went in pretty well, except for the sides here. The sides are a little bit squirrely. So I do have one complaint, and that is the instructions. The instructions have the assembly for all of the Masterforce garage organizational system, which is nice, but at the same time, I mean, look how tiny all those letters are. I can barely see that stuff. Bigger pictures would have been much nicer. Now, again, they do show everything step by step, but I would have preferred bigger pictures. This top part here, you have to kind of snake this bottom part under this lip here. All right, that's all of the bolts in, and they give you 2 extras, which is nice. Now that those are all in, I'm going to go through and hand tighten all of those. Everything's tightened up. Let's go ahead and put the shelf brackets in. There's 4 of them. I think for now, let's put them right in the middle. And here's our shelf. Now it looks like the corners on these they appear to be welded. Tiny little welds. The welds are not too bad. Paint job is very nice on the powder coat. I don't see any real sharp corners, maybe a few here and there. So that should stay, that powder coat should stay on there. Should be nice. Let's go ahead and throw this guy in there. And that is a bit of a tight fit. It does close nice. There is a lip on here. You can only close this one way. And that's so you can lock the cabinet. It does feel fairly sturdy. The door is open nice. This thing isn't crooked. Let's check the key. So, door locks well. So this is all put together. Next step is going to be figuring out the mounting system. I'm going to reread the instructions, and then we'll have to take all that stuff down and we'll have to put these two guys up there. So the cabinet is all assembled. Let's talk about the mounting system. This uses what's called a rail mounting system. This is becoming increasingly popular. I kind of have mixed feelings about it because you're depending on the weight of the unit to keep it from falling. What we do is we mount this rail against the wall using two of these self-tapping hex screws and then this larger screw of the washer that goes in the middle. And the way this works is this simply hold onto our cabinet like so. There is no hardware that actually attaches the cabinet to the wall or to this. Now, depending on what kind of studs you have, studs are typically 16 inches apart or 24 inches apart. My house is a little bit older, so I'm assuming it's 24 inches apart, but I'm gonna have to locate them. 24 inches on this guy is right here and right here, which is perfect. 16, it's like here, and one that's off-centered. If you were installing this at home, I don't recommend installing these anywhere other than on your studs. If these are going to hold up anything heavy, you do not want to be anchoring these to drywall or to, in my case, this good old-fashioned 1970s wood paneling. So we're going to go ahead and take everything off the shelf up there, install these, and then hang everything. We'll see how it looks. All right, we are back. I'm going to try and keep everything in frame here so you guys can see. So I did some measuring, and from the bottom of the cabinet to the center of the hole on the rail is 28¼ inches. Now I want my cabinets to sit as far over this way as they can, and I want them just above the height of this light I have over here. So what I'm going to do is measure up to find my 28¼ inches. I'm going to mark that. Then, using a level, we're going to put that mark on one end of the level and level that out and scribe a line across, and that's going to show us exactly where our lines need to be. Now I took my drop panel ceiling, I moved it, and I looked for my studs. Turns out they are 16 center to center. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you are going to mount these to your wall, mount them to your studs. Do not mount them just to the wall or the drywall. So we're going to go ahead, get this going, and I'll walk you through the steps as I go. So there is the bottom of our cabinet right there. Move it up slightly so we're not sitting on the very bottom of this light. 20¼ right about there. So now I can take my level, the bottom of my level on that line, and level out my level while I'm still on that line. Now I can take a pencil and scribe a line. There. And that is where I can mount my first rails. And now I can see where my stud locations are. So we can go ahead and drill those holes for the rail. Now I'm making this guide for the absolute beginner, so I'm going to impart some wisdom here. Now they may call these self-tapping lag screws, but in reality they are not. If you're going to be drilling into your stud, you want to pre-drill your holes. Now the way to find the correct size hole to pre-drill for a lag screw is to find a drill bit that when you line it up with the shank, in other words the part without the threads, it should be the size of your shank. You can see my stud is right here, and there's my line. I'm not going to tighten it down all the way. Put it up there. Kind of eyeball this guy. Looks like it should be good right about there. Okay, I'll take a step back and look at it. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and drive that in. So that looks pretty nice as far as height and everything goes. Open that up. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and start doing everything for the second one. I think actually I'm going to move that rail over one more slot. All right, so I moved this whole rail over one slot. Now we still have our line here peeking out, so what we can do is just put our level up here and do the same thing again. Now these rails actually had quite a nasty burr on them. So I went through and ground them off with the grinder. These are almost a little bit too much for one person. Not quite, but they are heavy. All right. Beautiful. Oh yeah, that looks much, much better. Much more professional. So I've got both the cabinets hung, and look how nicely they match up. Got these things perfectly level. Now, I did encounter one problem with these, and that is that there is so much room in these. I fit almost everything I had on those shelves in one cabinet. And the only reason I didn't put everything in there is because I felt like it was getting a little bit too heavy and I got a little bit nervous. So a lot of the things I have in here are things I took out of here, put in here. I put some tools in here. I'll probably put in some more stuff in there. So this has greatly increased the storage capacity of my shop. I also can put things on top of the cabinet as well. So I absolutely love these things. So total assembly time for one of these units was probably only about 15 minutes. And that includes unboxing it, setting it up, maybe another 10 minutes. So you're looking at under 30 minutes, you can put one of these cabinets up. And it was a cinch. It looks amazing. I love them. Would I recommend these to someone else? I 100% would. Each one of these guys will set you back about $150. So they're not cheap, but they're worth it. They feel sturdy, they feel strong. The doors, they open and close nicely. They don't catch at all. I love these things. So that does it for today's video. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Please continue to hit that subscribe button and those like buttons. Please share this video. Please make a comment down below. Ask if there's something you would like to see on this channel. If you have any constructive criticisms for my videography, because I know it is a little bit lackluster. But the channel is, again, still growing, which is awesome. We passed those 2,000 subscriptions. We're almost already up to 2,100 subscriptions, which is great. And as promised, all funds received from this channel will be directly reinvested into getting better video equipment. So, thanks again, everyone. Work hard, stay humble.